Well, good morning. It's early, I know. So one of the fun things of the morning is the computer did not want to work. It was working and then it wouldn't see the mic or the camera. So we're doing this on my phone, which is really kind of cool that we can do this. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I remember 25 years ago and we just couldn't do this. So good morning to you. Have my cup of coffee here. I'm here early because today is a really cool day. So one of the things that I do is, I'm involved with an organization whose name is NAWBO. And it stands for the National Association of Women Business Owners. And I've served as president in DFW for the past 2 years. Now I'm happily in the immediate past president role. So excited. But one of the things we get to do is one of our partners is Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. And we have a beautiful relationship with the team here in Dallas. And today is interview day. So we do 15-minute interviews. I think we have 12 or 16 that we do today. So that gets started here at 9 to 5:30. And one of the things I love about it, I love the program. Like if you need free help, I don't know that you could get better program or better help from a program than the Goldman Sachs and Thousand Small Business Program. I wish it was a shorter name though. But one of the things love about the interview day is getting to see so many business owners share their stories, share where they're trying to grow to, share where they think they need their help, which is really humbling because it can be really hard to just tell people you need help, right? So, one of the things that I have seen is it doesn't matter your zeros. Your zeros just don't matter because there are issues that transcend zeros. And so one of the things I always take away from interview day is that we're really all in the same fight, on the same journey, up against the same problems. It's just when we reach out and we talk to each other that we actually see the normality of it all. Which is one reason why I'm so passionate about what I do, about having these conversations with you, and being able to share. So, having said that, welcome. If you got the live notification, glad you're here. Say howdy so we know you're here. Maybe I can pull that off on my phone and see it. And we're going to talk about a concept today that's really about working smarter, not harder. You've heard that I just think that the working hard moniker of small business leads to very tired and very broke. Um, so howdy. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Rohan. I am afraid Rubilish Rubil I don't even want to try to mess up your name, but hi. It's so glad that you will be here. I will go out and phonetically figure out how to do that. I don't even have my glasses on, so that's why you got pulled back. But so anyway, so we're talking about, all work, no pay. And all work, no pay really is interesting because a lot of service-based businesses start their businesses off in this area. And part of that is because of the business model that we share. Good morning, Shirley. How are you? The business model that we start off in. So what I will see, and really where this idea came today, is we did our 5-day challenge last week. We'll do our next one in September. And it really was a case of one of the light bulbs that went off for somebody was like, wow, I could go after the business that is very down here, or I can go after the businesses up here. And I was like, yeah, there's a lot of value to that. So let's talk a little bit about that today. Let's talk about what that is, why it is, and all my non-makeup suntan glory. And then let's talk about how you can put it to work in your business. So by doing this, here's where, if you can think about it. So in a service-based business, there's four business models. And what I will tell people is that oftentimes people like to try to come in at the low cost leader. They like to try to come in providing an incredible service for low price in the thoughts that it will help me gain more clients faster And so then I will be able to then move on. Though what it does is it gets you stuck in all work, no pay, because your most finite resource is your time, right? It's the constrictor in a service-based business. So we can't start off in volume. You just can't. Well, you can try, but you're gonna have a really hard time getting above 50 or 60,000. I'll just let you know. Where I like to see small businesses start off is in the more of a boutique type of situation. So it's where you are providing value priced services. So you're not trading time for money. You are working with fewer clients, but you are working deeper. And especially starting up, that's really crucial because that enables you to settle into a routine, develop a process, get very proficient. Not that you're not good at what you do, but I'm talking about being proficient as the business owner, proficient as the developer, the implementer, the deliverer, if you will, because you tend to wear all those hats. So this gives you time to do that. And it does give you, if you can kind of take this concept, if you're not in startup mode, if you happen to be somebody that is more established in your business, this strategy I used with one client and we saw 52% growth and she's been in business for 6 years. So it just works. Okay. And I'll talk about how it shows up a little bit different depending on where you are in your business. So what we want to do is we want to push the all work, no pay way of business to the side. We want to get to this idea of minimum viable product or profitability. It could be productivity, but we're going to say profitability. And I'm going to switch hands. So in a product-based business, there's a concept called the MVP, minimum viable product. That's where our $1 million in sales target comes from, because that's really when people see that this product has viability and it's scalable. In service-based business, we use profitability as that because that's really what fuels our scalability. So if we have profitability, we tend to be able to get growth and scalability and do it in a way that doesn't, it's not like the snake eating its tail, if you will. It actually is forward thinking and moves the business forward. So one of the things I want you to think about is a $50 sale is just as hard as a $5,000 sale. A $5,000 sale is just as hard as a $50,000 sale. I have had the benefit, strangely, of selling every price point. And it is, and especially like if you get used to selling the higher value price points and you go sell something for like, I don't know, $500, you're like, it's a no-brainer. I mean, honestly, no-brainer. But then you find out it's not for some people. And here's why. Price point is relative. Pricing is relative, right? It is relative to an individual's values, experiences, money stories, history, lifestyle. It just is. You know, you've heard the concept of like the temperature set or the thermometer, that everybody has their own set point on the thermometer and it tends to stay there. That's why for those who grew up with less money, like I did, right? It can be really interesting to try to move up if your thermostat was set at this number, but you really are working on it going that number. I have to work opposite on my camera. It is also why those who have grown up much more privileged are more accustomed to their privileges because it is their normal, right? It is what surrounds them. Same concept happens in pricing. So don't try to play in this low cost leader area. It's just really not beneficial as a service-based business. You can get into subscriptions and other things, other business models. I think after you master what you're doing and really get it to be a system and a process so that you can scale it, that's what I think this boutique model really helps us do. But you just have to start here so that you're actually getting profitability. You're getting minimally viable, profitable first. So if you can generate, you know, I'll say 10 through 40% net profit, so bottom line profit in your business as a service-based business, you've got something scalable. You've got something you can build upon and really maximize and see to its fullest potential. You really can have fun with that. But if you're struggling to eke out 5%, then there's something in the model that's not right. There's something either in the pricing or the model or how you're serving that is keeping you down here in that all work, no pay. So 5,000, 50,000, it doesn't matter. That's why I think you can always go a little more value. Now, what I will say is you do need a marketing engine, right? You do need a way to generate the leads to have the conversations. But I don't see, you have to make sure that you're speaking to the right people, that you're helping them identify that they need you, and helping them see the possibility. They've got to understand their pain they're in. If you're in pain long enough, you go numb. So you do need to have somebody remind you, hey, by the way, this hurts. And you're like, oh my God, it hurts. If you've ever gone to the masseuse thing, that they're like, what is this spot on your back? And you're like, oh my gosh, it hurts. I never knew it hurt. Same process, right? You're going to give them relief, and you're going to be able to do that. The other thing I want you to think about, and this is a different variation of it, is 1 is just as hard as 2. So this is the strategy that we used for one of my existing clients who had 5, 6, 7 years of business. And really their average was 1 sale per client. Well, that's fine. Nothing wrong with it, but I call it the one and done. And the hard part about a one and done is it doesn't fully leverage all your marketing efforts. Hey, Lynn, how's it going? It doesn't fully leverage all of your marketing efforts. So everything that you're putting into getting that client there, if you only serve that client once, then chances are you're leaving money on the table. And so this was just the instead of 1, we focused on 2. Instead of 1, we focused on 2. Instead of somebody just needing her once, we're like, okay, but do you have multiple needs? Because that's really what we're looking for. And the amazing thing is that generated 52% growth. That's a double, just about double from the prior year. We didn't change anything else. Didn't spend more in marketing. Didn't. I'm like, it's a case of where these little tweaks just have you working smarter versus working harder. Now, granted, on the service end, the delivery end, there was more that we had to do, right? But just that simple thought process is I'm looking for 2 instead of 1. I'm looking for 4 instead of 2, whatever your magic number is. And that 1 to 2 is really one of the easiest strategies I've ever seen to double a business, because we're not having to change anything else. I mean, maybe we got to get some support on the back end for delivery, but that's cheap compared. It's cheap compared. So really and truly, if you can take a look at what you're doing, and there's lots of different strategies, guys, to make this work. If you're in a one and done, you can break up your services into multiple packages, multiple levels. You could break it up so that it is more of a consumable. That's a hard thing about services, is sometimes they're not consumable. Meaning, when I did construction, most people only do 1 kitchen. That's the way it goes, right? I have to think about a different strategy. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today. I don't know what your thought process is on it. Can you see how maybe you're focusing on the hardest parts, the hardest pieces, instead of how can we make this easy? How can we make sure we're having profitability? How can we make sure that we have scalability in our service-based businesses? So I'm on my phone. I can't give you my link. If you're watching live, I always love it when you say howdy. If you're watching replay, I would thank you and tell me replay. That way I know how people come and see me. But I'll post in the comments if you want to get our next notification that we're going live. I'll put the link in there, and you can just click it and say get started. And then Facebook will let me tell you when I'm going live, which will be on Thursday. And maybe in the morning as well. You guys obviously are up in the morning. Don't mind that I don't have makeup on yet, that I'm drinking my coffee. I have to go walk the dog, take a shower, and be ready to go by 9 this morning. So cheers to you. Let me know your thoughts. Sign up to get our notifications, and we'll be talking with you soon. Thanks so much, guys.